Because that's not all. We also have massive inflation to discuss and additional congressional spending that we're told is going to alleviate the situation.
Yeah.
At this point, every month's inflation report is just like a broken record of the last one. But what are the numbers?
40-year high. This one's slightly worse than last month.
Oh.
Obviously driven by higher gas prices. CPI climbed to 7.9%. I think it was 7% last month.
Yeah.
And month over month, inflation rose 0.8%. So we're looking at basically 1% inflation month over month.
Yeah. And keep in mind, this is February's report. So we're not even factoring in the worst of the gas spike, which has
happened in the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. And probably will worsen this week.
For the 12 months ending in February, grocery prices are up almost 9%.
Ugh.
This is the biggest year over year increase since 1981, which was a terrible economic year. Gas prices are up 38%. Housing costs have risen 4.7%. The largest yearly jump since 1991. In the meantime, wages really aren't going up at all, but don't worry. It's transient or some shit.
Yeah, it's well, now we're beyond that. It's like every argument. Well, that's not happening. Actually, it is happening, but it's good. We heard that in the case of the labs. We're going to hear that in a moment with the case of the Florida Don't Say Gay bill. Now, inflation was never happening, but now it is happening, but it's good because it increases wages or something like that. That's the line we often hear. But, if you're not feeling inflated enough, get ready for the balloon to tempt the bursting even more, because this week Congress passed yet another 2,000-page spending monstrosity. Speaking of pieces of news that seem like a broken record, this is another one. Another $1.5 trillion to go to God knows what. Once again, members of both parties lamenting they didn't have enough time to comb through the bill's lengthy text, even though they lament the same damn thing every time and just keep doing it. The bill includes nearly $14 billion in emergency aid for Ukraine. Democrats fought. We'll get this. Democrats fought $1.9 billion in money for the border wall, apparently, and they lost on that fight. But so the debate is not how we can secure our own border. The debate is how many billions of dollars should go to securing the border of some obscure country halfway across the world. So really, they have their priorities in order. But if that doesn't enrage you enough, they have priorities to protect themselves too. So Congress spent millions more on their own protection, $87 million more for the U.S. Capitol Police, operating with a budget of over $500 million now. And expansion to the budgets of House congressional offices by 21%, the largest increase since 1996. And Democrats also accepted a $46 billion increase for domestic programs, calling the $730 billion domestic budget the largest in 4 years. The bill was actually whittled down as well. Democrats wanted billions more in coronavirus aid. But those
oh my God, why?
Those deficit hawk Republicans would not allow them to blow out our spending in such ways.
Oh, yeah, really?
We did get a $42 billion defense spending increase. And just in case you think this keeps us good for a little while, this gets us to October, as far as I understand. We'll be up against yet another fiscal deadline for another multi-thousand-page, multi-trillion-dollar brick of bullshit stolen from our wallets and our futures in just over 6-7 months' time.
These people have stolen our birthright to pay for this paused Zog budgetary nonsense, and nobody's pissed about it.
Yeah, it's just made up funny money, so who cares, as though it doesn't affect us. But this is the thing. If you're thinking, well, hey, I don't like that everything's inflated and that my savings are worth less and a dollar doesn't buy what it used to, if that's what you think, that this runaway government spending has something to do with that, well, Joe and Nancy are here to correct you. It's not that this argument is insane. It's not just that government spending has no inflationary effect. It's that government spending helps relieve inflation. And not only that, Joe says all of you rubes out there who don't understand that, well, you have too much trouble seeing the benefits that these Democrats in government give you.
God.
Never forget what we've accomplished together so far. And by the way, the American people just trying to stay above water don't understand this. You tell them what the American Recovery Act was, they look at you like, what are you talking about? I'm sick of this stuff. We have to talk about it because the American people think the reason for inflation is government spending more money. Simply not true.
It's important to dispel some of those who say, well, it's the government spending. No, it isn't. The government spending is doing the exact reverse, reducing the national debt. It is not inflationary, A. B, we don't want to reduce the increase in jobs, which we're very proud of.
Okay. You just don't understand because you're middle class rubes. You just don't get what we're trying to do up here in big government to save your ass, you fucking retards.
Thank you for the Nancy translation. You should really make an app or something like that.
These people, they're just so arrogant.
And if you follow the logic, not that anyone is buying this in our audience, but just think about the logical extension here. Okay, your claim, Nancy, is that unfettered government spending provides jobs, provides wealth, and has no inflationary effect. Why would the logical conclusion not be cut a check for $1 million to every person in this country and make every single person a billionaire or a millionaire? There's no downside. We'd all be wealthy. We'd all be prosperous if only the government would give us $1 million each. Why would you not do
but
that?
Then she wouldn't be comparatively wealthy.
Well, she has many $1 million. She'll be still richer than most. And if your answer is, well, that wouldn't work because it would just be a lot of dollars chasing the same amount of product. Oh, really? Is that how it works? Thank you for the clarification.
God, I hate these people so much.
Once again, Democrat big government policies, they're so good that they have to be forced on you, and they're so good that your stupid brain can't even comprehend their greatness. So get smarter to understand.